Hi, Dan Misra here from Total Ownership Project Management. Total ownership of process quality uplift nearly always involves a checklist, or it should. This is because any repeatable process needs a checklist to ensure all steps for a quality outcome are covered. While a project is a once-off activity, usually a project needs to hand some process over for ongoing maintenance or ongoing runs, such as a data feed, reporting process, data quality rules. If something goes wrong, there needs to be a checklist so that a person can step in and follow the steps to find out what went wrong and get the process running again. A checklist does not mean blindly following steps without thinking. It just lays down the minimum and essential steps so that none of those are left out, which leaves the operator of the process free to think about what's new and different about the current instance of the process that they're running. They're not about going on autopilot. Quite the opposite. They're about freeing you up to think, be creative, be imaginative, and understand what's different this time, because every run of a certain process usually has some differences, unless it's an extremely simple process. You might say, well, my project is not handing over any process for business as usual, for BAU running. It's just, I'm building something and I'm going to hand that over and we're done with it. So this is a project, it's a once-off activity. That's what distinguishes a project. But if you look inside your project, even within your steps, you're likely to have repeatable processes, such as if you're migrating a system from one to another, you've got 100 code modules that you need to rewrite in another language or update for a new system context. Each one of those code module migrations needs a certain series of steps to be followed. So there needs to be documentation, commenting in the code. There needs to be unit testing. The unit testing has to be evidenced. There needs to be a peer review. The peer review steps need to be evidenced, and then the code has to be merged into your main code repository. Each of these steps should be covered in a checklist to make sure none of them are missed. If you're not convinced about the value of checklists, I recommend this book called The Checklist Manifesto, How to Get Things Right. And if you're not sufficiently convinced to read a whole book, then I recommend the 2007 New York article called The Checklist, also by the same author of the book, Atul Gawande, who explains how around the world every day checklists literally save lives, hundreds of lives, in hospitals, in airlines, in industrial processes, and save billions of dollars in injuries, errors, refunds that would otherwise need to be paid to customers, the medical costs of injuries from things going wrong unnecessarily. If you're a data or a tech PM, I strongly recommend becoming proficient in implementing checklists, writing checklists, enforcing checklists, and selling checklists to your team and to upper management. Checklists are extremely cost effective, they're free in fact, and are simply a way of ensuring that your team follows the best practice known up to that point in your industry.